Sometimes I totally dig when freaky little things happen. And I recently found the last figure that I needed to complete my Season 1 Transformers cast while unexpectedly out thrift shopping. And in the little baggie that he came in, and right now I'm doing some custom work on him, we'll talk about him another time, but in the little baggie that he came in was this, and I had no idea what it was. And the more I started to fiddle with it, the more I realized, wait, this is a Transformer, but I saw no Autobot symbol, I saw no Decepticon symbol, I saw nothing, and then I finally realized that this is actually a crossover. And this isn't even the first release of this character. He came out in a yellow and blue format first. Of course, this is the, I guess, Transformers Marvel crossover of Wolverine. And we're going to look at Logan in all of his glory in the latest GotBot True review. Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, Dennis Moulton, aka GotBot. As always, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. Check out Machinery of Mandy, Everything Factor. Have a look at Universal Collision. Check me out everywhere. Now, I wish I could give you details about this guy. I wish I could tell you that I know a lot here, but I really don't. It's going to be interesting. I didn't even get instructions with this guy. I've transformed him once and transformed him back once. And I don't even know if I'm doing that right. So this is going to be interesting. So, that being said, in terms of colors, okay, well, if we go by Wolverine's earlier costume, you know, the one I grew up with, not to date myself, it's pretty accurate with the brown and the yellow, both in vehicle mode and in his other mode. I have to be honest though, I always much preferred the yellow and brown, or the yellow and blue outfit, so I kind of wish, if I was going to have this guy, I kind of wish I had it in those colors, but, you know, what do? Beggars can't be choosers. And of course, this is very niche as it is. Anyway, there was also a third version of this that came out. In a black, silver, and red version. I'm not really sure what that is. I don't remember when he wore that. Maybe it was. I don't know. If somebody knows when he wore that costume, hey, let me know. He rolls like a champion. So right now for paint apps, we're gonna say 10 because it's accurate to a rendition of Wolverine. Why not? He rolls like a champion. These are spare tires that can go like this, I guess. It's a bit weird. I have no instructions for this guy, so transformation is going to be interesting. We're going to jump right into that because why not? So I begin by, and this probably is not right, folks, but I tend to begin by loosening up these panels here on the side, and there's one over on this side. I'll loosen that up as well. There are little tabs there that tab in behind the window and kind of in here behind the leg, from what I can tell. We can pick this up and even swivel it around up on his back, I guess you call it, up on his roof to get it out of the way. And we're gonna kind of get all of this loosened up, and I'm going to tell you, going from vehicle mode to robot mode is easier than going from robot mode to vehicle mode because there's a lot to tab in. We come down here and we flip these little pieces up. They will become kneecaps. These little black pieces back here, they're going to become kneecaps. We can split the legs and begin to fold these down and sort of out of the way for now. I'm going to back this up a bit so that we can sort of see a bit better what it is we're doing here. And that's sort of where we are right now. Now, what I have found is the next probably best thing to do is to kind of get the arms out of the way so we can actually get the legs out of the way. We do that by untabbing these little triangular pieces on the front, and now that sort of frees up the arm. There's a tab right here on the arm that goes into a slot up underneath, I guess, the door. I do find that extremely difficult to tab in, especially on the left side. The tolerance seems really rough for that. But we pick those up. We also take these fender pieces and we pick those up. And we swing out an arm and we should be able to, I hope, if we can untab it. And again, this is difficult. There's a little yellow tab up here, and that goes into a section on the roof. There's a little slot right here. This side untabs fairly easy and tabs in fairly easily. On the other side, though, not so much. It doesn't like to untab, and once it's untabbed, it doesn't like to tab back in. There we go. And if I can get this arm out. There. Wow. So now we got both arms out. Little yellow tabs on either side. They go into brown slots up right here. And if we were taking it back, of course, we would just swing this back in and hopefully try and tab it on. Now you can straighten out the arm and straighten out the arm. Okay. Whew. We can push in those tires for now. And this is when we're going to start to try and actually get a bit of form to this guy. And I think this part is a bit genius. And it took me a while to actually figure this out with no instructions. But you untab the entire waist section. There's a circular peg right there that goes into a hole up right here for vehicle mode. When you have it untabbed, you turn that... Actually, I guess we have to take that tire out. You turn that whole section around, if I can get it around, there you go. And now that circular peg goes into a hole up under the grill. And that'll become his waist. Tabs in very securely in both modes. We swivel him at the waist, which seems to be on a ratchet, which is a bit strange, but kind of cool all the same. And we know that this is the front because we have that little X symbol there. We straighten out that leg, we straighten out that leg. We flip out that foot and flip out this foot and bring down the little heel spur and down the little heel spur. And now he can at least stand up. Okay, we're getting there. Now push those tires back in. Bring the arm section down. Bring the arm section down. And believe it or not, we're almost done. Like I said, it's a lot easier going into this mode. I don't know, what do I want to do next? Let's deal with these little things first. That tabs in around on the shoulder, and this comes in around on the shoulder. Like that. This section comes down on the back. And then we have a panel right here. We pull that back and we pull up the head and lock it in. And in the end, boom, here we have Wolverine. Now I'm just going to adjust the camera a little bit so that we can see him a little closer now that he is transformed. And here he is. I kind of dig him. I kind of dig him. Like I said, the color is a 10. The transformation, there are some tolerance issues. Things that I think would really frustrate kids. Collectors, probably not so much. Probably not so much. They'd probably be okay with it. And I think that overall, that gives this guy a transformation of about a 7.5. It's all right. Here he is from the side. Here he is from the back. Other side, of course, exactly the same. And the front. Now, a couple of things. There seems to be little panels right here. I can't for the life of me figure out why they're there. I can't get them to move. I don't know if they do. I'm thinking that might just be housing for this. There's a button up on his forearm, and if you press it, it makes his claws protrude a little bit, and that's on both arms. Naturally, that would make sense. Oh, and this grill piece, there are two little pegs where it pegs in vehicle mode. You unpeg it and bring it down in robot mode. I forgot to do that little piece of transformation. But yeah, but a 7.5. Paint was a 10. Overall, this is actually so far scoring about an 8.65. It's actually a pretty good figure. It's solid. The joints are solid. In terms of articulation, the head goes a little bit left and right, nothing major. The arms, well, if you get these out of the way, the arms can go all the way around. Naturally, they limit it ever so slightly. They can go way out. We get a nice deep 180, not 90, 180 degree elbow bend. We got a bicep swivel. Do we have a wrist swivel? I don't think we have a wrist swivel. Doesn't seem to be a wrist swivel. Getting the arms out of the way. The legs go all the way out for the splits, and they ratchet out. They go forward. It seems like friction. Back about that far before they kind of hit the junk back here before the leg gets caught up. But that's respectable. We have a thigh swivel. We have a 90 degree knee bend. Oh, and I forgot one other piece. These tires go in behind. If you put the tires in behind as they're supposed to be, your knee becomes very, very, very limited. That's why I forgot about it, because I don't put them in. I leave them out to the side so he has a 90 degree knee bend. But I guess for official sake, we'll put it in. It's solid. It has respectable articulation. Does he have a waist? He has a waist, of course. I forgot about that. No ankle pivot. I think the guy could have used it, though he stands solidly anyway. Just to give you a size comparison, here he is with the new Titans Return Tidal Wave, who I looked at in episode 304, and I've done a comparison of this guy with the Armada Tidal Wave when I was reviewing him in episode 308, if I'm not mistaken. So it's a respectable size, large, deluxe, small Voyager type of scale. Certainly very bulky and hench. I'm going to give the articulation, honestly, he's missing ankle tilt that's kind of neither here nor there. His toes do tilt. His heel spur tilts a little bit. He does stand pretty solid. Honestly, I'm going to give the articulation about a 9. It's pretty solid, and all the joints feel good on the guy. Though this is a crossover, and I really don't have a place for it myself, anybody who is a Wolverine collector, anybody who likes quirky Transformers, or anybody who is a Marvel collector would probably get a lot out of this guy. And in terms of these crossover formers, I got to say, I think the guy is a solid 9. He is fun. Now, I don't normally do this, but since this is a bit of a special case, I am going to attempt the transformation going back, just so you can see how much more challenging that is. So the head goes back down inside, these come back up on the side, we bring the whole back up here. Put up the heel spur, bring in the toe, fold out the tire. And I'm doing this very quickly because I really am not looking to kind of showcase the transformation back. I'm not the guy that does that really. We turn the whole waist around, we unpeg it, and we swivel it again, and we peg it in. That's kind of where we're to right now. Okay. I wish I could say that this was going to be fun. I really do. We open out these little triangular shoulder sections. We put in his claws. We bring up the entire arm. We angle it down on a hinge up here, and we try and get that little section in over the yellow tab. If I'm lucky. Which I'm probably not going to be. Actually, before we try and get that over, here's the thing. These feet really need to be done first. I have found. So we bring that up. We bring that up. We tab the legs together, and you have a couple of pegs and a couple of holes inside right there. We bring down his knee spur sections right there. We can attempt to bring those pieces down, and we can even turn the tires around and bring them back. All of it seems pretty easy so far, but we still don't have these arms in, and I'm telling you now, they are a bit of a pain. So we bring that back. I'm going to have to bring this piece up. It's the only way I'm going to get it in. We do that. We take this arm, put in the claws, we bring it up, and again we tab it on. We bring it down. Now, ideally, in a wonderful world, these two shoulder pieces would just tab on nicely over right here. That's not, in my experience, what happens. In fact, I can't even get them to go in there right now. One moment. Okay, so I got them tabbed in up here. Now, we bring that piece down, we bring that piece down. We should be able to bring this down. There's a little slot in the side of it that goes over a little peg down right here. So we bring that piece down, and we bring this piece down, and it should peg on over like that. And we bring this down and this down. These, again, do not like to peg in particularly well, but in the end, basically, boom, there you go, he's back in vehicle mode. That went surprisingly smoother than I thought it was going to go. The only question that I'm left wondering about this guy is whether or not his entire chassis, his whole body, is made, oh, and I guess I should keep those out. Is his entire body made of adamantium? That, admittedly, would be really cool. Anyway, thanks for having a look at this little crossover oddity with me. And let me know what you think about this guy. And as always, I look forward to the next time when you and I get together for another visit right here inside the video.